Okay, here's my Contour+2 camera, and I'm going to unbox it for you right now. I'm very excited. It's one of the first in the country, I think. I purchased it through the UK Expanses website for £344.99 delivered, and it came from a distribution hub in Montpellier in France. As you can see from the box, it's got lots of information on it in typical Contour fashion to make you really interested and to want to buy it. It's very compact, and yeah, let's open her up. And what a better way than another piece of American engineering, this Leatherman wave I've got here, which has served me well for a number of years. So if I just cut the seal, there we are, put the wave down, you can unbox the camera and see what's inside. I love unboxing new stuff. It's not often that I treat myself, but there's always a lovely bit of excitement and feel to having something new. This is actually my third Contour. My very first one is a Contour HD 1080p, which you are watching this on. I'm recording it with the Contour in question. It's getting old now, but it does me okay. It might be a bit blurry in the video because it's probably a bit too close for it to make a good view, but hopefully you can see this. And this is the camera inside the waterproof case, which is waterproof to 60 metres. And I look forward to testing it. Probably will be to 2 or 3 metres, but the case itself is obviously hard clear plastic. It's got easy access buttons for the status there and on-off one-touch recording. The familiar Contour rails on the side, so you can mount it on a helmet or on the side of your spear gun or whatever it is you want to stick this to. And it's got emblazoned Contour+2 catch, which it's got a real nice action on it. It really feels tight, like it's you know, like you'd expect as it shuts you know, the waterproof seal in there. And taking the Contour out, it's got that familiar Contour cold aluminium feel to it. And differences between this and previous Contour models are where the record button and power button would normally be, you've got a status button. You've got a couple of flaps there for access to USB and HDMI. And if we look inside, yep, it still opens like it ought to. There's a battery compartment, the USB data transfer port, HDMI, so you can connect it to a television or a monitor, battery, micro SD up to 32 gigabytes, one-touch format, and a little switch there to switch between 2 modes, which Contour users will be familiar with already. I typically have one in high definition 1080p and one for slow motion, which has, in previous models, has been 60 frames a second. Though I'm told with this it will record up to 120 frames a second. So you can get some really gnarly slow motion shots with this camera. It also features Bluetooth compatibility, so you can use it with your smartphone, and you can use it your smartphone as a viewfinder, so you can see what's going on, and you can use it to record. You can use your smartphone as a remote control for it, essentially, and also you can take photos with it as a still camera. This will take up to 5 megapixel photographs, and hopefully I can show you some examples of those in due course. The camera has the usual Contour rotating bezel, so you can mount the camera in virtually any position and still remain true to the horizon, which is useful. And probably the lasers as well for alignment that it comes with. Let's see what else is in the box. Inside here we've got an instruction manual, and we've got a simple diagram explaining you how to start the camera in a very simple way that even I can understand. And the user manual is in 6 languages, and that should be fairly straightforward for most of us Europeans. I did mention that this is my third Contour. I also have had a Contour Plus for a while, which was faulty. I bought it from a grey importer called Simple Electronics, and I had some of the worst customer experience I've ever had with them. It took about a year for them to give me a refund, which they, to their credit, they did eventually, but in the meantime it was frustrating. Right, here we are. We've got a rotating flat mount, which enables you to mount it on a helmet or something similar, and choose whichever angle you wish to record at. We've got what they call a profile mount, which is a slightly flexible adhesive mount which you can stick to the sides of cars or cameras or things. I don't tend to use them, but they are useful. They're good to have around. The Contour infamous lens cap cover to keep your lens nice and clean. Adhesive backing for the rotating mount. The all-important Contour lithium-ion battery, which in this camera, the Contour HD, I can usually get about 2 hours of recording time out of. I've made 2 hours 15 minutes before, but with some of the functions of this camera, I think it's going to be drastically reduced. The camera has a 170-degree wide-angle lens, which is a little bit more than the Contour 1080p, which I think is 135. It records video with GPS data, so when you upload the video to the Contour site, you get a little overlay box in the corner of the video, which shows you where you are viewed from above, if you like. You can have Google Street View layers or aerial mapping, and it's really useful if you're going on a mountain to see which path you took, or trail riding or mountain biking. It's dead useful for that. The box comes with the USB data cable, an HDMI cable so you can connect it to a monitor or an HD ready television, a lanyard which connects between the camera and one of these mounts, usually on this little bit here, which means that if the camera does get knocked off by a branch or something, then it still is attached to your helmet, and you hear it flapping around and you stop and you thank yourself that you've not lost the camera. It also comes with a microphone external cable, which is useful. It means that you can have the microphone perhaps in your helmet, so you don't pick up wind noise when you're out on the trail or the piste. And finally, the now legendary Contour adhesive sticker, so you can tell the whole world that you bought your Contour brand new. And be a fanboy. Competitors for this camera are Sony. Sony have got a new camera at the moment. So, I don't know much about it, but it's had some very good reviews. And obviously GoPro, although the current GoPro model isn't quite as good as this, but a subsequent model in the future, perhaps next year, is likely to be as good, if not better, due to the competition between the two companies. This has already had some excellent reviews on the internet, including at least one journalist say that it's the best camera on the market at the moment. Today is early October, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops over the time. One of my favourite features of the camera is the one-touch recording you've got now. You can literally just switch the slider and lock it into place if you want to, and you don't have to worry about powering the camera up like you had to with previous Contours. You just get on and film, and I think that's designed to prolong battery life. So yeah, there's the camera. I've unboxed it, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. All my subsequent trail riding videos are likely to include footage shot on this camera, so it'll be interesting to see how it compares to my previous footage, which is starting to look a little bit tired on my rather battered Contour 1080p HD. Thank you for watching. I'm Wiltshire Byways.